Happy Friday, everybody. It is Dwayne Huff, founder and CEO of Influence Seminars. And in this video, I want to talk about two very powerful questions that will help you to improve the quality of communication at work and make your life really easier from day to day. For those of you who are not familiar with me, I do corporate training and specialize in the area of influence, anything that will help increase the influence day to day and communication within the workplace. And so a couple of great questions I ran across. Before I forget though, if I can be of service to you or help you with anything as far as training is concerned in your company, run over to influenceseminars.com. A lot of great resources there on the blog, and we can see how to serve. But a couple of great questions that I ran across early in my career from a couple of my mentors. And let me just set the premise by saying this. Day to day, we're communicating all day, every day via email, via phone, via so many different medium, right? And so sometimes that communication goes well, but many times, as you know, it falls apart. Any organization I go into, small, medium, or large, when we're doing training, inevitably somebody's going to come up to me and say, Dwayne, we face two big challenges here in this company. And at first I was fascinated, right? But over the last 10 years of doing this, I anticipate what those two things are. And they're always some form of this. We have a challenge with communication and leadership, right? And that can take on many different forms. And so let's focus on communication today. What can make your communication more effective in a way that you can be in control of it so it can improve the quality of your life, but also facilitate it in the workplace. Now, we're on a Friday today, so everybody's a little happy, looking forward to the weekend. So this might be a good time to try some of this stuff out and have a little fun with it. That's the thing about training. I try to keep it as fun as I possibly can. And so this will be an interesting experiment in that laboratory that you have right there called the workplace, right? So here are the two questions. Number one, how do you mean exactly? And number two, can you tell me more about that, right? So let's set that premise. For me, I'm the type of person, if you've ever seen behavioral style assessments like DISC or Myers-Briggs or whatnot, I'm the kind of person who loves to talk. I'm a talker, right? I'm a very outgoing influencer type personality, and I love people and I love to talk and I love to listen. I love to talk, right? And so I get in a lot of trouble because I want to express myself, share my ideas, get my thoughts across, and I'm very expressive. But I also have come to the conclusion that many times I'm misunderstood or misinterpreted because I don't stop long enough to listen, to analyze, to understand where the other people are coming from, and then proceed accordingly, right? And one of the biggest challenges I've ever had to face was backing up, listening, being patient. And as Stephen Covey said in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And what it told me is that in those moments when I'm having conversations with people live and face-to-face, and it took a lot of practice for me, I had to learn to pause, to fully be present with that person and listen, and then take a moment to formulate my response before I spoke up. And I still am challenged with doing that consistently, and it's as a point of focus for me. But what I've found is that whenever I'm patient, I listen, I consider, and then I respond, many things work themselves out favorably in my favor and in the other party's favor. So the communication opens, there's no conflict, there's no confusion, there's no sticking points, we flow in it, right? And so the premise right there is we have to stop long enough to listen, be patient. Sometimes that means walking away and considering how we're going to respond before we do, especially if it's email, but even if it's face-to-face. But if for some reason we even suspect that there's a misunderstanding in the communication that we're having with another person, whether that's a coworker, a boss, a customer, whatever the case is, here's two very powerful questions again that can help clear things up, get things back on track before we say the wrong thing or make the wrong conclusion, right? One of them, again, is how do you mean exactly? The other one is, can you tell me more about that? Have you ever been in a conversation face-to-face with a customer, with a boss, with a coworker, with your spouse, with your kid, whatever, right? And you're sitting there and for the life of you, you are trying to listen and pay attention. I saw a meme the other day that says, I can listen, forget, and and get, I forget, squirrel. At the same time, we're distracted. We're distracted. There's so many things coming at us. And no matter how good of a job we try to do to be fully present and listen, we get distractions. And if you ever find yourself in that place, to bring the conversation back on track, or if you misunderstood something, or if you're misinterpreting something, or if you're thinking to yourself, oh no, they just didn't say that to me, pause. Look at the person, be sincere, don't have emotion in the face, and simply say, how do you mean exactly? And pause and listen. Because whenever you do that, it gives a person the chance to clarify, to revisit, to expound. And if you were lost in the conversation, it gives you the chance to refocus. How do you mean exactly? And if that one is not appropriate in the moment, you can say, can you tell me more about that? I don't care what they were saying. I don't care how much they were explaining to you. If you simply ask them to explain a little bit more about that, it gives them the opportunity. They might look at you a little crazy, but they will open up and talk. It gives you a chance, again, to refocus, recommit to the conversation, and allow them to express. Gives you the opportunity to really understand what's going on before you ask them more questions or take the direction you're going to take. So if you do that, you're in full control of that. There's a thing, there's a certain tension that happens whenever we ask a question and remain silent and patient. That causes the other person to continue to open up and talk, right? And it's a practice that we got to get. But the point being is that if you will do that, it will help you to clarify, stay focused, refocused, open the communication, and have a great dialogue between you and the person that's going on. It's going to make your life easier. It's going to facilitate better communication in the workplace, and it's going to increase your influence with people, and that's what we're all about. So just remember, if I can be of service, if you guys are doing training, you think I'd be a good fit for your organization, influenceseminars.com. If you like this, share it with someone, give it a heart, thumbs up. And if you're on Facebook, and like it. And you'll see whenever I go live. Again, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, there's none of those buttons there. I'm going to post it there as well. But just remember, you can improve the quality of the communication and your influence by asking those two key questions. How do you mean exactly? And can you tell me more about that? Now, before I leave, I'll give you a heads up there. If you're using that with your spouse, they're going to pick up on it pretty quick. So use it sparingly, right? But it can be effective in serving you. So remember, you can increase your influence. You just got to pause. Ask good questions. Be patient before you formulate the response to make sure that you fully understand where the conversation is going. And all of a sudden, the lines of communication will open up, and you guys all over in your office place from top to bottom will be able to have better communications and resolve one of the biggest challenges that any organizations face, which is communication. So I hope this served. Have a great day. Run over to influenceseminars.com. Tons of great resources over there for you on the blog, and we'll talk soon. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in there. I'll respond to them. That's where these videos come from and the ideas, and I'm here to serve. Take care. Bye-bye.